Hello and welcome back to Mondo Musings. I'm your presenter, Nicardo McLean, with a preview of what is shaping up to be one of the most compelling, yet probably slightly overlooked clashes at this edition of the Olympic Games. Now, this one pits Belgium's two-time defending Olympic champion Nafi Thiam, one of the greatest to ever do it, against America's Anna Hall, whose speed, strength, and improving technique could eventually see her make pretty regular forays into rarefied 7,000 point territory. Now, Hall, with a lifetime best of 1275, has historically had a significant advantage over Thiam in the HEP's first event, the 100-meter hurdles. However, with the Americans slowly getting back up to top speed after having knee surgery in January, the gap has noticeably narrowed in 2024, with Hall having a season's best of 1334 to the Belgians' 1352. Now, in terms of the average in this event in their last five completed heptathlons, Hall is ahead by well for 3/10 of a second for a 50-plus point advantage. At her absolute best, which admittedly was a few years ago, Thiam was good enough to go toe-to-toe with the elite in the individual high jump. Her PB of 202 is 10 centimeters higher than her American rival's 192. In recent times, though, she's tended to top out in the mid-190s. This season, 195 at European Championships plays Hall's 182 at the US Olympic Trials. Last five hep-wise, Thiam is up by over 100 points, which should see her sweep into the lead in their head-to-head battle. Historically, Thiam has also been the stronger campaigner in the shot put, where she has a 15.5 meter PB, which is about a meter further than Hall's longest throw in a heptathlon of about 14.5 meters. It's worth noting, though, that the 23-year-old American launched an absolute best of 1480 in a standalone shot put competition in April of this year, a mere 26 centimeters behind Thiam's 1506 at June's European Championships. In their last five completed heptathlon comps, Thiam leads by just shy of a meter. This points to the Belgian veteran extending her lead over Hall to well over 100 points heading into the final event of day one, the 200 meters. And it's a cushion she'll very well need, because Hall is a far superior performer in the half-lap event, having breached the 23-second barrier in her breakout showing in Gotsis in May 2023. Thiam, meanwhile, has never managed to run faster than 24:37. Again, though, Hall's knee situation will likely result in a time faster than her current INHEP 23.9 SB, but slower and maybe significantly so than her 22.8 PB. Nonetheless, anything in this range will see her gap Thiam, whose season's best currently stands at 24:81 by quite a margin. It wouldn't be surprising to see their actual times align with what they've produced in their last five completed HEPs, around 23:3 for Hall and around 24:6 for Thiam. A scenario like this would see Hall all but erase the defending champ's head-to-head points advantage. It should be advantage Thiam in the long jump to kick off day two. At the European Championships, the Belgian superstar flew out to a season's best 6.59 meters, which is quite some way up on the 6.19 SB Hall turned in at the US Olympic Trials. The reasonable expectation is that neither will top their absolute career best marks of 6.86 and 6.54 meters, respectively. With an average distance of 6:45 in her last five HEPs, Thiam has been marginally ahead of Hall at 6:34. If a similar margin holds, the former should start easing away again. This brings us to the Javelin, where the defending champion has a staggering lifetime best effort of nearly 60 meters to her credit. though she hasn't been beyond 55 meters since 2018. Hall, on the other hand, boasts a best of almost 46 meters. In terms of 2024 performances, Thiam hit 53 meters on the nose at the Euros, while Hall flung the spear a respectable 45.5 meters at her Olympic trials, something in line with their respective last five completed HEP averages would see the Belgian extending her lead over the American to over 150 points. No, as crazy as it sounds, some track aficionados, and for quite some time now, have been suggesting that Hall could eventually break 2 minutes in the 800 meters, which maybe isn't so absurd actually considering her current sub 203 PB. As for Thiam, being the great champion that she is, she started to use her long loping stride to greater effect to compensate for the relative drop off in other events as she ages. We saw evidence of this at the Euros, where she warmed up for the expected Olympic battle with a lifetime best 2:11.79 clocking, though that is still over 7 seconds down on Hall's season's best of 2:04.39. Reproducing such a time would likely ensure a narrower margin than the average differential of almost 10 seconds witnessed over their last five completed heptathlon competitions. Now, overall, if the averages hold, we're looking at a Thiam victory by something in the region of just 24 points. But this really is such a thin margin that the pendulum could really swing either way. And this, of course, doesn't even consider the presence of reigning world champion Katarina Johnson-Thompson, who capitalized on Thiam's absence in Budapest last year to return to the summit in this grueling event. Will she be the one to mount a challenge? Or will someone like the big throwing Anouk Vettel, Home Hop and European Championships breakout star, Oriana Lazraq-Khlass, rise to the occasion to upset the apple cart? Whatever the identity of the athlete who eventually emerges as the main protagonist alongside Thiam, this one promises 2 days of ups, downs, and absolutely compelling drama. So I cordially invite you to enjoy this thrilling spectacle, and thanks as always for checking out the content. Until next time, peeps, Godspeed.